Hello, Z Nation fans, and welcome back to the AFTERBUZZ TV Z Nation After Show. Tonight we are covering Season 3, Episode 14, the penultimate episode for the season, Duel. We have two very special guests with us tonight, so stick with us after the opening.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I feel like this was fitting music for the sheer amount of fighting we had going on in this episode.
Yes.
For those of you unfamiliar, this is Duel of the Fates from Star Wars, and we are Z Nation, where we just had many, many throwdowns in this episode. I am Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter at KiaJ. With me is the wonderful Michelle Cullen.
Hello, everyone. You can find me on Twitter at Michelle_Cullen.
And we have two fantastic guests tonight. We have the writer and director of this episode, Jen Derwingson.
Hi, everyone. I'm on Twitter at Jen L. Der, J-E-N-L-D-E-R.
And we have Addie herself, Anastasia Baranova.
Hi.
Where can the people find you?
Annie Awesome, that's A-N-N-Y Awesome.
Yes, you are. If you want to participate in the show, we have the hashtag on Twitter that is ABTVZNation. We have the live chat. We'll have that up in just a moment, so if you're watching live on YouTube, you can comment in there, or in the hashtag, you might well get a shout out. What do we think of this episode tonight?
Holy crap, Batman.
Yeah! Good Lord, just... Watching this in the middle of the night was not the smartest thing I've ever done because the atmosphere was incredible. I was making noises.
Hey.
I'm really glad my neighbors weren't home because they were loud noises.
Yeah, there were some audible cringes in this episode. Poor Addie.
Right? Why are you so mean to me? Why you beat me up?
Because you can take it.
Oh my God! Is that a reference? Is that from something?
No.
No.
You guys just, wow, we are
just said
in
it at the same
sync
time.
tonight.
Like this.
We
Wow.
do this.
That
We're
is
good.
powerful.
It's because you're a gigantic badass, and we know that this isn't the first time you've had to run off by yourself and accomplish something great. So
Thank you so much, yeah.
yeah.
I feel good. I feel good about it.
And let's talk a little bit about that. So this is, I think, the third, fourth episode that you have pretty much carried, that the main storyline has been about Addie.
Right.
What was it like going into this one? Because this was intense.
This was one that was really a lot. We talked about it from the beginning. That was always, it was sort of talked about as Addie's Revenant episode. Even before we started filming, like in the writer's room and all throughout the season, I knew that it was eventually sort of gonna, all get to this point, and we weren't sure exactly what it was, but I knew that it was ultimately gonna be a thing where just gotta keep on knocking her down and just, fight through it. I think I prepared for this one more than any of the other ones from a physical standpoint. I started working out like about 2 months beforehand because I knew it was going to require like even, and in general our shows like pretty physical and stuff like that, but I knew that this was going to be like quite a bit more. So there was definitely a lot of prep on that end.
Yeah.
So it's really, I don't know, I was really excited to go into it too because I knew that I was going to get to like have like Lucy time and badass time and sort of kind of an everything time.
And getting the daylights beaten out of you time.
Oh, also
that
that.
was hard to watch.
Also, wasn't it? Yeah, wasn't it? I don't know.
Was it hard to do?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It hurt very much, often, many of the times. Just because, like, and I talk about this a lot, like when you're doing stunts like that, you can sort of phone it in for some stuff, but at some point you can't. Like if you're gonna do a fall, you gotta take the fall. If you gotta do the hit, you gotta do the hit. Otherwise it just doesn't, it looks like you're like trying to not do it. So yeah, I mean, by the end I was like covered in bruises and, but I mean, but it wasn't like for nothing. You know what I mean? I think it ultimately ended up looking really, really
good.
cool.
Oh my God,
so
yes.
I mean, I don't know. I thought it was worth it.
Did you do all your own stunts this episode?
I did a lot. There was some stuff like when he like hits her and she like somewhere like flips back.
Yeah,
like,
That's the one that sticks out in my mind.
Yeah, I didn't. That wasn't me. I can't do that.
That is an awesome
Yes.
Iranian stunt woman.
Really?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Masa Madani, who's, yeah.
I had two stunt women actually for this episode because Michelle came in too. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a lot.
The woman who played the mother that she carjacked
Mm-hmm.
was also her stunt double on a couple
Wow.
of
Isn't that neat?
Oh, fun.
ironically. But yeah, Masa's, well,
She was a total.
both the stunt women
yeah.
are pretty badass.
And they both have great butts. great behinds, and both of those got featured. And my friends were like, "Dang, Annie, look at your booty." I was like, "That's not my booty. That's not my booty at all." But you know,
That was stunt booty.
that's actually stud booty.
Is that your booty double? There's no Megan here to yell at me. I'm going to do that all night.
It's gonna happen.
It will. Talking about the stunts, Jen, did you write a lot of that into there, or did you just say they're fighting stunt choreographers, go for it? Like, where was the balance?
Yeah, they were pretty well described in the script in terms of the moves and how they got from A to B, and who was winning at any certain point and who was not, and when one got the upper hand, especially in the river fight, it was you know,
and what
pretty
gets broken after which fight, like this one,
and then
the nose, the shoulder.
so which you know, makeup, prosthetic gets added at what point, but then our fight choreographer, Keith Cox, kind of came in and did the specifics and then trained the actors and the stunt women in the specific moves and how to do them and make them look good. So, yeah, they were, our stunt team is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked absolutely incredible.
It was.
Let's say, was this one of these stunt heavier episodes, or was this about normal?
I think it was probably...
I'd say a
stunt
little
heavier.
It was heavier, yeah, because they were just. I mean, there's also there's always a lot of stunts and stuff, but this one was really because we had so many actual fights, not just like as you know, zombie heroes. Like it was actual like fights, so definitely super stunt heavy.
In terms of choreographed fights, definitely a lot
Stuff that
more
we had to like
than normal.
prep for, you know, like come in,
Okay.
you know, beforehand to work this stuff out because you can't kind of just like get it on the day.
Yeah. Although I will say that this one is sort of famous among the stunt team for learning fight choreography pretty quickly. Yeah, they always say, well, Anastasia can come in and rehearse, and then she gets it. She doesn't need a lot of rehearsal.
They are. I mean, yeah. It kind of. I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe because I always wanted to be like
Like a ballerina.
Yeah, I was gonna go with like Bruce Willis
to be a ballerina.
but yeah, like a
I was
Bruce Willis
just thinking
ballerina.
choreographer.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, one of those things. Bruce
And
Willis.
they're great.
/
Ballerina, Bruce Willis starts with a B. It's fine.
I would watch Bruce Willis as a ballerina. I need that action movie in my life.
It's happening right
You're welcome,
now
Hollywood.
in my mind.
Die Hard 6, 5.
Well, it's so
not
funny
even
though.
a Die Hard thing. Just like do its own thing.
You want just Bruce Willis.
Okay.
Because this is as close as you can get. By the end, I was kind of like, this is like Addie becomes Black Widow meets Die Hard, right? Because she's like in all black and she got kind of looking, right? And then like actual Die Hard because she keeps on dying and stuff. So that's what
But I feel like we never quite had the yippee-ki-yay moment. Because you just kind of got wrecked badly. I'm waiting for that next episode.
it is not over yet.
Yeah.
It is I am still in pursuit.
Yeah, that was
It is not over
definitely...
till it's over.
Correct.
That was a to be continued at the end.
For sure.
Going into the season finale, which we'll get to that in
Isn't
predictions.
that crazy?
Dear God.
Everyone dies in the end.
And everyone dies.
Yeah. We will get to that in predictions in about 30, 40 minutes. In the meantime, we should probably take it back up to the top. This whole episode, wow, I just lost words, is a balance between an extended chase scene and an extended fight scene.
Yes.
And it's incredible and very intense
with some
to
shopping
watch.
in the middle.
with everybody needs
What
a good
shopping
break.
doesn't hurt? Oh
breaks
my
for shopping.
God,
Isn't that
favorite
great?
line. Other favorite line was zombies don't hurt me. We didn't know that back then. I feel like that's like the writers saying, no, we didn't actually. Was that planned in season 2 when we got little Lucy, or is that something that developed more when you knew you were going to have her more in the series?
As soon as she was born, we knew that, at least for her mother, she was a protection. So like while Serena, also known as Pie Girl, was holding her, she was protected from zombie attack. And so from the moment she was born, we kind of knew that she was at least immune to zombies, that they wouldn't hurt her. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And we saw more and more in this episode that Lucy is able to communicate with zombies, feel their pain in, I want to say, a more acute way than Murphy does. Because
Yeah.
Murphy gets it occasionally, and Lucy seems to be picking up everyone in a 5-mile radius. Was that also planned?
I don't think that was planned. I mean, when she was a baby, we didn't I think we talked about a lot of ideas for her, but that she's, you know, she is just as Murphy is. She's like the next step in the evolution of the blend universe.
Hashtag Z Nation Science.
Yeah. That's just kind of what we fall back on, isn't
Always.
it?
I like it.
It's pretty great. I love it.
Always.
And the fact that we always have a scientist character in Z Nation because we need them.
We do.
We do.
You need scientists,
Science
just
is
generally.
important.
Yeah.
Stay in school, kids.
So yeah, as stay in school, survive the apocalypse.
Scientists, yeah.
Yes, people are getting Black Widow vibes. Yes, I'm glad you got that. Thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah, chat seemed to be super fond of this episode, as was Twitter.
Thanks, Twitter.
Yes, thanks.
And as for being like that balance of those two different types of scenes, we had a few pretty long, pretty intense sequences where it was just you by yourself hunting down Lucy or leaving a display for Doc or popping your own shoulder back in. Dear God.
Oh, that moment. Just
How difficult was it to do those on a writing and directing standpoint to balance that, and on an acting standpoint, being there on your own and having to carry the whole scene?
You first. Not it.
Well, it demands a little different writing style because you're not communicating anything through dialogue when it's just one person on the screen. It was similar to the, you know, Little Red and the Wolves episode where 10K was alone a lot and running, so much running. But yeah, it's a different style of writing to communicate what they're going through and what it means and what their actions are. And maybe you can talk about the performance aspect.
Well, that one's definitely like a co-creation, but I mean, it all is, right? But that's definitely one where like you're with the writer, you're like, okay, so what am I bringing here? Because again, it is sort of just on me to bring it, and not only in the physicality, but like in your being and in your eyes and in everything like that. You know, it's always much easier when there's an actual human being here and you can like connect to them and they'll give you some and you give some back. And otherwise it's just you. So on the one hand, that it just requires, I think, really being well informed about what's happening in the scene and also what we need to know afterwards, because that's always something that I want. Like, I'm never really attached to how anything goes, to how you say anything, or to anything like that. I just want to know, after this scene, where do we need to be in the story? What do you want the audience to be feeling? What do you want them to be like questioning or whatever? So then I'll bring that, so eventually we get to whatever the story ultimately needs, because I'm just here, you know, to serve the story. Yeah, that was a super solid moment. I luckily got to do that one with second unit, so we just like went out by the river and really like worked that one out, because I knew it was actually really interesting. Usually we don't get to like watch, you know, like takes or anything like that, but because I was with second unit, I kind of had that like advantage. And we did a couple of takes of me slamming my shoulder back, and I realized that, I don't know if anybody else could tell, but I knew that in my eyes I was thinking about getting the angle, get the shoulder, not really actually hitting my shoulder to get the thing, and like in my eye you didn't see the pain, and I was like, nope, we're gonna do it again. I know it looks cool, but we gotta do it again, so you see that like it hurts, because it didn't actually hurt. So to use my imagination, just SpongeBob imagination. So that was really cool. I mean, it's a lot of responsibility, but at the same time, like, you know, I really like doing this stuff, so it's kind of cool.
And that scene, you got the pain across.
Yeah.
That
Glad you got
was,
it.
yes.
Oh my God, I was cringing, I was curled up, I was like, oh, she's gonna do it, oh, God, here we go.
I really like the moment before. I like the moment where she's choosing to do it.
Yep.
Because that was a cool thing, because I was like, okay, you know, it should definitely, you should see that she's going,
Yeah.
okay.
Because I know someone who dislocated their
Shut
shoulder
the
once.
front door.
And like they you know, they were still conscious after it. They were in so much pain, and then it was like, okay, now it has to be, you know, relocated back in. So someone pulled it back into the socket and they passed out from the pain. Like, it's more painful to knock that baby back in than it is to have it dislocated in the first place. You can pass out for hours. So it's like, that just, I mean, to your credit, like, it was very convincing. Good. And Addie is even more of a BAMF for not passing out from that. Because it depends on the dislocation.
That would have been
but-
really hilarious, though, if then, like, Addie passes out. 20 minutes later. Okay.
All right, let's go.
All right. We good? We good?
Good.
We functional?
All right.
Yes.
Here we go.
That could have worked too. For you.
Yeah, we're good.
I feel like I'd be even more worried at that point with all the zombies in the woods. It's like,
know,
she's
right?
unconscious and there's no one there.
That was also a really cool moment, too. I really love, from a writing standpoint, I love that, it doesn't ever drop. It wasn't ever, oh, okay, she just got out of the river. Oh, she just popped her shoulder back. Now there's 49 zombies still present. God, okay. You know what I mean?
There's
That
always
it
the
doesn't-
freaking zombies.
Yeah.
Oh, freaking zombies.
Or a boat that explodes that you're on.
How did you do the boat explosion? Was that CGI? Was that a model?
No, that was real.
That was real. Yeah. What we
know.
found, it was
Talk about it. Let us know.
it was the best thing. We found this marina location, which is was the perfect. If you're gonna have an apocalyptic marina, this place was perfect.
Ready to go.
It's like the oldest marina in Everett, Washington, and it's the kind of place where guys go. I would say it's mostly guys, so I'm sort of generalizing, but guys are like, I have this boat that I bought, and I'm going to fix it up. And they take it there, and they
So it's
start
like a
and they
garage.
start fixing it up, yeah. And then they run out of money and they abandon it. So after we decided to shoot there, the owners of the marina called up our location scout and said, there's a couple boats we have that, if you wanted to, you could set fire or sink them. And then when someone says that, you don't say no.
No, that's
Tell
the
me
dream.
more.
Because originally it was, originally before we even had a location, that fight was just like at a construction area, and
Yeah.
Addie's getting buried, like the Revenant, we keep talking about, like her getting buried moment is like getting knocked into some scaffolding that collapses on top of her. And then we found the marina. So then I was like, okay, well, she gets trapped in one of these many sheds that are around. And then they said you could set fire to a boat. So I went, okay, well, she gets trapped inside a burning boat.
Did they just give you a boat to blow
They
up?
just
that
gave us a
so
boat to blow
much.
up.
That's amazing.
And so we did it actually on the schedule for the final episode, because it takes a long time to set up an explosion like that. It took about 4 hours, I think, to set it up, and they had to get a lot of permissions, of course, from EPA and all this stuff. And there's like this magical fire stuff that Disney makes that I think we use that floats on water. And it's interesting because it's a very kind of actually low-tech kind of thing. You don't actually like explode the boat per se. The pyro,
just
the
a bunch of
pyro guys, like, there are these cannons, these things, and then they fill garbage bags with gasoline. And then they use some black powder charge to like vaporize the gasoline to create a huge fireball. So what you see is just like
wow.
burning vaporized gasoline. But there's some added flames to some of the earlier shots and some of the after shots. But that explosion is exactly how it looked when we shot it. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Now we know how Michael Bay does it.
Yeah.
Garbage bags and gasoline.
Garbage bags and gasoline. So none
Actual
of that
science.
none of that was CGI. That was fire coming off a real boat.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
When I watched it too, I had that thought process of, is this CGI? Did they do this in post? And then as you watch the fireball go up, it's like, no, that's real. Yeah, that's real. I'm
real.
gonna rewind that moment. Yeah,
Well, and I had
rewatched
this
it
moment
again.
of there's no way they got a boat, and I was watching it with Megan, and she goes, they might have done it in miniature. I mean, that's how they did Independence Day, a whole bunch of miniatures. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a thought.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we had 7 cameras rolling on that.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Oh, yeah.
That.
And everyone came. Yeah, there were a lot of people. There were like people from the government and the police and the fire. Everyone was there to watch things.
How excited was
Explosion.
everyone when you were told that you could blow up a boat?
Yeah.
Well, it was funny because it was. We got this message from the owners that you can blow up a boat, and so I just like, okay, I'm gonna just put it in the script. Well, I called Carl, the showrunner, and said, we can blow up a boat. Can we blow up a boat? And he said, sure, which is kind of usually what Carl does.
I feel like Carl's not going to tell you no when you say they gave us a boat to
They
blow
gave us a
up.
boat. They said we could blow it up, and if it got on the schedule, and so we blew up a boat.
That's so fun.
It was awesome.
Good Lord, that's incredible.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
It was really, really neat.
Yeah.
It was really neat.
I'm going to be happy for the rest of the night knowing just third
that
person,
actually
they
happened.
blew up a boat.
They blew
Yeah,
up
I
a
can
boat.
show it to you in slow motion.
Yes.
I do want to see that.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been so oversaturated with Michael Bay style CGI explosions, so it's like, no, that actually happened
Yeah.
on this show?
Yeah.
Dang.
I love it.
We
Way
are
to go.
fancy. Thank you very
You
much.
are fancy.
Trying to get a moment to come down from the boat.
Well, I think it's something that happens a lot on our show where, you know, we just have these sort of serendipitous moments where people offer us
Yeah.
stuff and we work it into the script. And there was like the helicopter the first season that was on top of the building. It was like we couldn't afford to get a helicopter. And then I think it was our either our production designer or our stunt or our property master who like found one in a junkyard, you know.
Like you do.
Like you do, because you're not in
normal
LA,
Friday.
so you can find helicopters
In junkyards.
in junkyards, you know. So we do have those moments, which really, sort of add
Hashtag
to the
Spokane.
experience. Yeah,
Love it.
Or Everett.
So since you've been filming in Spokane for a couple of years, are those instances more frequent now that people know who you are and what you're making?
Probably.
Yeah,
I
people
think
know.
that people offer us stuff, but we actually shot this episode and the last episode on the west coast of Washington. So this episode was shot in Everett, Washington, which is just north of Seattle, and in Index, which is the little town with the general store and everything. And then the next episode was shot in the same area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So we got to have a sort of different locale than what we're used to
It
seeing.
was really neat.
Yeah.
That's fun. A little change of scenery.
Yeah.
And into beautiful scenery because we went up into
yeah.
like mountains.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's just gosh, and then
Yeah.
like the weather height changes a little bit, so like the trees it changes a little bit, and then there's just it was
Yeah.
so beautiful, all
Yeah,
the
it was
nature,
gorgeous. Yeah.
all that like Washington Pacific Northwest, like
That's what
green.
Sydney was saying last week.
Everything
was
is just
like, I'm getting
green.
paid to
Being
just
gr-
be
being
in nature.
green.
And yeah.
It was
It's
really
pretty good. Yeah.
It was a really great way, I think, also to close the season because it's like we work for pretty much almost 6 months, like all summer long, and it's like it's really really tough. And I think as just a general like morale booster and just like we are outdoors. We've been working 489 hours straight. Look at all this oxygen.
Yeah, there's
trees.
oxygen and beauty
nice.
Live
And
runs
it's
through it.
beautiful. Yeah, I think it definitely was like, and actually a bunch of our guys like are really outdoorsy, like Scotty and
Yeah.
Fett. You know what I mean? So a bunch of our guys are like fishing at lunch or like climbing on the weekend. So I think it was definitely like really good for them
awesome.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, so we're filming and it's also a nature party?
Nice.
Win-win.
Winning.
To answer the chat question, yes, Spokane is in Washington.
Yep.
It's on the other
side of
though.
the mountains.
Yep.
It's more inland and closer to Idaho.
Almost, it's like 20 minutes from Idaho.
Yeah.
Very close
It's
to
really
Idaho.
close.
Yeah, we went to Coeur d'Alene when we were up visiting, and it was
Did
like
you?
30
Isn't it
minutes away.
Yeah.
It was real cold. It was real cold. Yeah, I actually want to talk a good chunk about Lucy because,
please.
of course, the episode was centered around her. She was kind of the MacGuffin for this.
I'm still trying to figure out how she ages, and currently my theory is that like great moments of stress and rage that build up inside
yeah.
of her like make her pop up a couple years.
Yes, it's that.
It's that? Yeah. It is that? Perfect.
Confirmed.
Done.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
You're a genius.
I did it.
Fact.
And just the sheer number of banshee screams she managed as a child, and then I don't think she did that once after she became a teenager.
Every time she screamed, I said, "I'm sorry, Mom," in my head because it just reminded me of myself as a child.
Were you a little?
I was a little screamer.
Were you
I
a
was
little screamer?
No words. Just that one high-pitched tone. Just, I'm sorry, Mom.
Now, was there any sound editing that went into that? Was that just her screaming into the mic, or did they add?
No, they
to that?
definitely added, especially that big one right before the
Title card?
the opening titles. Yeah, because most of the time she was not making any sound because she was trying to be Corley, who played the younger version of Lucy in this episode. Was, trying to save her voice because when she did it, then she would do it.
Okay.
So she only did it, I think, a couple of times, but then the sound department had it, and then they could manipulate it to give it the. It was. I kind of described it as like an otherworldly zombie call.
Yeah.
In the script, and sort of. I wanted it to have sort of a supernatural sound.
Yeah, it was like a siren banshee scream. Just
Yeah, I think it actually said banshee at some point
Yeah,
in the,
definitely
in the
did.
script.
Yes, it did.
Nailed it.
sounds
Nice.
about right.
Nailed it.
And then I have to say, my favorite bits that weren't oh dear God, that was amazing, but I'm also afraid of how much pain Addie's in right now, were the shopping bits. Taking
cute,
her
right?
shopping
So
and then
cute.
trying to find chocolate. Both of them for completely different reasons. And you realize how sheltered she's been and how short a time she's had on the planet so far. What's shopping? Does it hurt? What's this? What's a medieval torture device? What's just all of these little references and just concepts that we take for granted. And here's this small child growing up in the zombie apocalypse going, I don't know what shopping is. Does it hurt?
What's this? What do I do?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does hurt.
And then taking her shopping and just that conversation. I loved that. It was a nice, I hesitate to say low point, but it was a calmer point in the episode.
Yeah.
And then immediately revving up at the end with the nursery rhyme. And then, oh, hi, Eva. Boy, your timing is really good.
He's excellent timing.
Yeah.
The man, he's all about timing.
Oh, not even wearing a watch. All about the time. Just knows when to come in.
Internal clock.
Just to ruin everything.
Ruining everything.
Every time.
So, were any of those clothes in the location? Did wardrobe bring them all in?
It was all wardrobe. I mean, it was all some wardrobe and mostly set deck.
Okay.
Yeah, it was because we found the shop, but you know, the shop owner, like many shop owners, was worried about her merchandise.
Yeah.
And so they, you know, the art department spent a lot of time like putting all her clothes on racks and wrapping it in plastic and putting it on a truck so it would all be pristine and nice when they put it back. But that was all set deck. That was all our stuff.
You think we'll see those clothes again on zombies in a later season?
Probably. Depending how
fair.
much storage the
You know
wardrobe
what?
department has.
Well, a little fun little bit right there. As I'm going through all the clothes. Do you remember in the 6th episode in the 1st season when Garnett dies and like the pastor guy and his like robes? Those were there.
Those were there.
Yeah, those were really there. And it was funny because
Yeah.
I think I was like, it was not the time or the place, but I really wanted to do a bit where she was like, no. You know what I mean? Like going through. Like,
But if you look closely,
if you look close up,
see it,
it's actually
Easter eggs, you guys.
fun.
That's so fun.
Somebody find a screen cap and throw it in the hashtag. Yeah, but that,
Just I just looked up and saw period.
You
What?
did.
yeah. That people want to talk about Lucy getting her period.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Was that something you were allowed to say on TV? Because no one ever actually said got her period.
You know, I don't think I ever thought about it.
I wonder if you probably can't.
I don't know if you can. You know, I was thinking about it last night because, you know, after watching the episode, because, you know, it was always she was getting her period, and then when I was working on the script, I just had that moment of like, and it's the blue clear liquid you see in the magazine. It occurred to me last night. I was like, I wonder if it had been like regular blood, if they would have let us
do it.
do it. So
Interesting.
I don't know.
Which
but
is funny because they let blood come out of every
Every other part.
Every other orifice.
literally anywhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that would be really funny.
We were talking to, was it Carl? When he said that you can do anything to a zombie on that show, but you have to be very careful what you actually show happening to a human.
That's fair.
Like there's that dividing line. We were talking about
So weird.
electrocuting the humans in barbed wire, but then actually killing the zombies.
yeah.
yeah. So I
very
don't know. No, wait. I mean, we didn't. I don't think it ever came up whether we just said she got her period or not. But
pretty obvious.
she did.
And
Yeah.
it makes sense to me that it wouldn't have come up because Lucy wouldn't have had any idea what was happening to her, and the man would never want to say it
Yeah.
because he's a guy.
Yeah.
He's
And
an
I love
awkward-
the...
He did it so well. Right?
Yes,
He was
you're
like,
becoming a woman.
you're growing up.
You're not dying.
Oh, is this why you wanted chocolate?
Now it all makes sense. Chocolate.
That was the other
the
thing.
theme
her,
of the episode.
her screaming, "I want chocolate!" I was like, I know what happened. I got that. Like just
I can't wait. I really want that GIF. Let's
GIF.
gif.
Or maybe it's GIF. I
Maybe
don't
it
know.
is.
It's America. Anything is possible.
Yeah, but it's not graphics.
No, but I'm not. I'm
We're not getting into that from here. That's
dress.
a...
But that would be the greatest little animated short. Just right. I heard. Send that off to everybody.
Yep.
There you go.
Give it to me now.
And just the piggyback ride, and like she became a teenager, and everything flipped around.
So
She
fast,
was
right?
very much in charge of that situation.
So good. Oh, she's so good.
Yeah, she's awesome. Caitlin Carmichael played the older version of.
Nice.
She was a blast.
She was.
Yeah.
And we get to see a lot more of her coming into her power over zombies, I guess, because we see her biting more than one zombie in this episode, and it brings a measure of lucidity to them, sanity. She keeps.
Lucidity.
Oh, you know, I didn't even go there, but I went
you did
there.
that on purpose.
I
That's on purpose,
didn't.
Yeah, that was
I will absolutely take credit for that.
Well done.
SAT vocab. No.
Well done.
I have to use that English degree for something.
yes, you do.
But yeah, we get to see that she affects zombies, and it's not just feeling their pain, it's she knows their names, she knows their backstories, and it's building on the idea that we had earlier with the revenge zombies in the Postman episode, that there might still be something left in there.
Yeah.
And that she's able to actually talk with them. And then biting them brings them back a little more. We had the arm that was very much able to communicate, which I loved that arm. That was incredible.
Zombie arm. Yeah, that you do what a zombie arm tells you to do.
And that nice little moment of, are you talking to me?
So cute.
I'm the only one here.
So cute. Oh,
And then getting Grandpa Zombie to teach her to drive.
Grandpa Zombie is my
was
favorite, and I'm
beautiful.
excited to see him again next week.
Yeah, Grandpa comes back.
Yeah, hitchhiking Grandpa Zombie, just like,
I want that
Okay.
sweater. If anybody can find one of those, I just want it in my life. Just a grandpa sweater.
Yeah.
Inside.
yeah.
Done. Internet,
Yes.
make it happen.
Yes.
Ashley. That's our costume designer.
And
yeah.
Ashley.
She found that. Yeah.
Great stories.
She wants the grandpa sweater.
I would like the grandpa sweater.
Do you want it with the blood on it?
Yeah, with the
or-
zombie blood or
different-
without the zombie.
I mean, because I know
Make
what
it
it is.
authentic.
I feel like that's an OxyClean commercial waiting to happen. Like the zombie apocalypse OxyClean commercial.
hilarious.
You want to get the
actually
zombie
That's
out
like
of
a
your clothes?
postscript, like at the
Yeah.
like very end of the series, and like
Yeah.
I don't know, after the apocalypse is over, if
Like
it's
a
ever
random
over, it's
cutaway
like now
scene.
we have to wash everything.
Yeah.
Now we have to wash everything.
It's just the 8-year-old zombie apocalypse stains. Look at that. That's
gone.
amazing.
Be gone. I will say I only picked up on a couple because I don't know everyone's names that well, but I liked that when she was naming the zombies or sharing their names, it was Delandra and Abram, and shout outs to different people that work on the show. And I
Yeah.
was like, that's so cute.
Was
I
every
like
single
that.
one of those a shout out?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cute. They're so cute.
It's so cute.
It's cute.
I love that. And I feel like that's an Easter egg for the people who work on the show and
Just
the
for
people
us.
who know.
Just a tickle.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's
Just a little
neat.
treat.
It's
Just a
neat.
little treat.
Yeah.
We acknowledge you. We love you. You're in the show, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Kind of. Yeah, I'm still stuck on her being able to talk to zombies. I'm wondering how much Grandpa remembers.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Come on, Jen.
yeah, a little hint.
Tell 'em a little
All shall be
more about
revealed.
Grandpa.
Say, give us an exclusive.
Get
No, I
him
get NDAs.
excited.
NDAs, we got it. But yeah,
Do we? We don't know. We talk about everything. I don't know. Carl's like, so you see what happens on the program.
Yeah.
That's my Carl voice.
It's spot on.
Carl?
Sorry, Carl.
No, Carl spoiled half of season 2 for me when I had him in here for an interview after season 1, and it was
that's
just
all he
like,
does.
I don't know if I'm supposed to know that,
Nope.
but thanks.
Surprise.
Carl's the worst. He'll literally tell you. Carl and Russell, the two of them, and then they talk. And so Russell's just like, so you know what's going to happen. It's just, no, the element of surprise.
How much of the element of surprise do you have when you work on the show, though?
Oh, not much.
Not a whole bunch. I know that, like, for instance, like on The Walking Dead, like, they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know. They're just straight up like, well, I might be here sometime, might be here not sometime. They like, it's not a whole bunch of notice just because, you know, like it's a lot more of a bigger deal. I think we know before the start of the thing whether we're living or dying or things are happening. So it's not just like,
Oh my God, is it tomorrow?
I
Made it another week.
Next week. Let me look at this next script revision.
Like you just read every script with terrifying intensity. Like, am I alive?
Am I still alive? Who lives? Who dies?
dead, okay.
Yeah, the
Just,
element,
like, hand it off
the
to someone
element
else.
of
I can't
surprise is for all of us. What's going to happen next season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And that I have no idea.
Yeah.
Do you know anything?
No, I don't.
She don't know anything.
But
So
we-
we don't know anything.
It's all there, and in Carl's
She's
head.
like, it's all like right here and over there, and then in Carl's
Under the
brain.
headphones.
It's in Carl's brain.
The one thing we know about season 4 is that it exists.
Yes.
Or that it will exist. We have been confirmed renewed, so
Which is so exciting.
Yes.
because I remember end of season
Thanks
1
to
being
everyone who
like,
watches.
they just set off nukes. Or can we renew after that? Oh, I guess we can't. Oh, I guess we did. Oh, dang.
There was a whole like I felt we needed to explain the nukes more, but I guess people could Google.
Hashtag Z Nation Science.
No, that's actual like the tactical nukes are only a small area. I mean, there was a whole
Very contained blast.
the contained blast. Yeah, the contained blast.
You're so smart.
Yeah. And then,
just
but then of course
make it
there's the
all-
wind and the fall. Anyway.
Yeah.
Season 3. Back to season 3.
Back to season 3, and I loved leaving Doc all of those little notes.
Yeah.
Can I share my one? My one
Yes.
tidbit. Okay, I'll share
Do
my
it.
I'll
Do
my little
it.
tidbit. Okay, so you know when she's like, have some seaweed, Doc, and I put it in the thing. So that was like that wasn't prompted. That was just like
No, that was just there. It's actually
that actual little fisherman statue, right?
Yeah, it was just there. You can see it. It was propped up against the little railing on the ramp. So when Addie comes down and turns, you can the first time it's in that shot.
And you see it, and it was so funny because so we did the DXD and the ropes and whatever, and she's like, and I look over, and actually over the course of like a couple of days, everybody was like, you guys, that statue really looks like Doc, doesn't it? And we're like, yeah, that's so crazy. And then I realized what was happening. I was like, oh my God, can I like drag this thing over so he like sees himself and, you know, does it? They're like, oh, sure, station, whatever you want. It's fine. And then I look down, I'm like, but can I put some grass in his mouth? I get it. It's grass. It's Doc. And it stayed, and I really was like, please keep this bit, please. And we kept it, and I think it really,
so great.
I think it really works.
It played really so
well,
cute,
yeah.
and he was like, little Doc, seaweed for Doc, okie dokes.
And it's like, okay.
But that's, you know, sort of what you were saying, like, we've gotten a lot of, like, freebies where you're just like,
The DeLorean too was
Right.
a freebie.
let's
need to talk about.
Oh my God.
Yeah, let's have
the
a
best part of the
swing into-
episode, really. Let's be honest. That was the coolest.
I definitely had a Monty Python and now for something completely different moment.
Well, it was another one of those. So back to like the magical marina where everything comes from in this episode.
That's actually really fun.
The guy that owned the boat that we shot the interior of when she's inside the boat, who also owned the pilot house where she finds the chocolate, collects all these different things and said to us one day, as people said to us on that location, I have a DeLorean.
If you guys just wanted it, I just throwing that one out there.
DeLorean. So that was another one where I went, okay, I have an idea. I probably won't be able to do it, but I'm going to ask Carl if we can, because we just needed another moment of Doc on the road. And, you know, everyone, I think as one of our electricians did a mock-up of Russell and Nat as Doc and Marty. And
Last year, like 2 years ago or something like that. Yeah, like season 2.
And it was actually, and then everyone got excited about it. And Ashley Russell, our costume designer, totally killed it. Oh gosh,
Yeah.
with those costumes. And but it was, we shot it with literally the last 10 minutes of daylight on the last day of production.
Yeah. Oh my
of
gosh.
the whole
Which I think makes
season.
it like that much more epic. Like we really like in the
we
nick
were
of time.
waiting, like it was like the last day of episode 15. And our second unit director, Juan Moss, who's awesome, but a total madman.
Where's Juan?
Where's Juan? And that's everyone. And he's picking up all these different shots for all these different episodes. And I'm like, we have to get Back to the Future. We have to get it. And finally we everyone ran and
Got it in there.
got it in there. And we had to, there was a big costume change in the middle because there's Doc as Doc and then Doc as
Doc.
Doc. So yeah, it was kind of miraculous that we got it. I'm really happy we did. Yeah.
It's such just a fun little moment where it's like, yeah, no, the apocalypse can do things to you.
Yeah.
It's just this great
You ever
little
been
apropos
hungry?
of nothing.
I
and-
mean, listen, I mirage all sorts of things into my life.
If someone offers you a DeLorean, you don't say no.
You don't
Thank
say
you.
no.
Thank you.
It's like if you can screw up the space-time continuum enough to fix the apocalypse, sure,
it up.
sure, let's do it.
Let's do it.
do it.
Totally.
And then they were just not there.
So good.
But talking about the dialogue-less moments, the last few minutes that we had of finding Doc on the road with that bicycle and just switching seats, getting in the car and going, like, oh. It was a really sweet moment.
Yeah.
I thought so too, yeah.
Yeah. That was one we also shot with the last 10 minutes of daylight.
That's just a lot of this program. We just wait until it's almost no time.
My friends were watching it on Friday and going, wow, did you like wait to get the magic hour light for that?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. That was completely planned.
Yes.
You
As we were
betcha.
like driving from the other location and shooting in
Getting
the
the
car
DeLorean
with
on that side.
with the little girl, you know. Then we abandoned her.
I thought, and I honestly, that was such a sweet moment. And Russell and I were both like, I think we were all like, this doesn't even need anything because we're already, our relationship is so informed, and it was such a like,
a lot was said in those nonverbal looks to each other. I thought it was so powerful.
God, I'm glad that read.
Yeah.
Just that moment of thank God you're alive. You need to drive. My legs aren't working.
Yeah.
Just no. Just no. Just no.
Just okay. Let's just
The bit with carjacking the mom and then having the child in the backseat. Just, oh man.
There was a lot of trouble about that scene.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Originally, in the writer's room, I think we left the little girl, and then in the rear view mirror, or after Addie had driven off, then we see, like, zombies. She's, like, screaming, and all the zombies in the area are swarming towards her.
God.
Oh my God.
That was the original version, which...
I'm kind of glad we didn't go with that one.
The studio was like, no. So I was like, okay. How about if Addie leaves her with a gun? No, we can't. Still no. I was like, okay, how about Addie leaves her with a gun and we see her kill a zombie so that we know she's going to be okay? Still no. They were like, no, people are going to hate Addie. And for me, it was the whole point of that scene was Addie is like so on mission. She's been through so much crap. It's like she doesn't have a moment of energy, the bit of energy, a moment of time to lose in getting, the savior of humanity basically back. And that was the point of that scene, but it was very troubling to people. And so
It's weird. Somebody,
we had to have our mom.
I saw like a couple of comments and stuff, and then somebody had asked me, they were like, man, why did Addie... Did you want me to take the little child on this like a mission to hunt down this like hitman with a heart of gold? Like, what was I supposed to do? And you gave her a gun. What was I supposed to do? Leave her in the middle of nowhere with the apocalypse? No, come on! I did the best I could.
I just feel like, well, why did she do that? Did you watch the episode? And watching a small child kill a zombie was just like, oh, we're in the apocalypse.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Also, that girl is Passay's niece.
Isn't that the funnest little tidbit?
Which I didn't
It's
know
so
until
beautiful.
after I cast her. She just happened to be the little girl who could handle the gun most convincingly.
Those are the family, I swear.
She was tiny and adorable.
She was
and
tiny and adorable, and I was
beautiful.
like, and she looks like a badass at the end.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah.
So was Katie someone that works on the show as well, or was that just name?
That was just a name, I think.
Hey.
Carl.
That was for you.
That was for you from
I'll
back
take
in
it.
May.
Yeah. No. Yeah, and I think knowing that there were different versions of the scene, I want to say that I do like the one that you went with. And
Yeah.
I liked that, okay, mom's coming, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that tiny child shot a zombie.
In the head. Headshot. Mercy. She's going to be fine.
Yeah, she's gonna be
Yeah.
fine.
Guys.
I really like that. You know what I mean? I like that about that. The whole time you're going, oh my God. Well, look at this little girl. Okay, she's got it.
Yeah, because I was like, I want to set her up. She could come back.
Hey, man, she's the future.
There we go.
Z Nation kids.
Season finale, the series finale, we got like the 10 years later scene, and we see her just like, yep, we're good.
That would be such
That
a
actually
great
would be a
cutaway.
great, yeah, dude. And it's just back on her.
Yeah.
And now she's like giving a little kid a gun. It's just, what? No, too much? Okay, well, anyway.
Circle of
Bring it
life.
like-
Circle
that's what I
of
was
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she'd be like 18 at the time. Ish? 16?
Of life. I don't know.
Yeah. Kanye shrug and move on with life. Okay, we are running a little short on time. Chat, if there's anything that you want us to cover that we didn't, go ahead and put it in the chat because I know we have about a minute and some change delay. And in the meantime, I want to talk to you guys about iTunes. Thank you so much to everyone who's gone on to iTunes, who has rated and commented and subscribed. That is how you keep us as an after show on the air. Because we do have a season 4 coming, and our producers here at the studio do like...
Do it.
Yep.
Do it.
Endorsement. our producers do look at those reviews, and they do see that if people enjoy a show, they leave a slot for us in the schedule for next season. And we know we're getting a Z Nation season 4, so if we want a Z Nation after show season 4, the best way you guys can guarantee that is to go onto iTunes, find the AfterBuzz TV Z Nation podcast, subscribe, leave us 5 stars because you love us and we love you too.
All the other
And,
stars are broken.
All the other stars are broken, 5 or nothing. And leave a review saying what you like about the show. And when you do that, we will also give you a shout out on air. We don't have any new ones this week, but if you want to leave one, if you want to get a shout out during the season finale, now is a good time to leave it because it does take a couple of days for a review to post to iTunes. Also, if you are in an iTunes store that is not the American store, the British store, the Australian store, the German, wherever, we have a hard time finding those reviews. They don't show up very easily. So if you do leave a review in those stores, screen cap it, throw out the hashtag. Same as if you leave a review in the podcast feature of Google Music. Screen cap it, put it in the hashtag. We do want to see those, and you will still get a shout out next week.
Look at this one.
I got it now.
Knowing all the
I have been doing this for a while.
Yeah, she knows things.
Yes, that's my slogan. I know.
Because she was an English major.
What is it? I drink and I know things. Is that it? All right. I'm not seeing much for chat. Just asking if we're coming back for season 4. If you leave iTunes reviews, maybe yes, that would be lovely. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about that we haven't hit on? Any fun behind the scenes stories? Anything you were particularly proud of? Any tidbits you want to throw the fans that'll drive them crazy before next week's episode?
Well, I'm really proud of Jen. I mean, I think, I don't know if we talked about it on air, but Jen wrote and directed this episode, and I think that that's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then you also did in season 1, what's the word? When I left because I stayed with the women. What was it called?
Oh, Sisters of Mercy.
Sisters of Mercy. There it is. So as just somebody who's watched you like grow and work and develop on the show, like it's pretty cool. So I don't know. Little shout out to Jenski.
Yeah.
Yes, women in entertainment. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I was really
Gal
very
power.
grateful for the opportunity. It was awesome, and our crew's amazing and works really hard for very long hours and always manages to keep their good humor, which is kind of
Really good.
amazing.
Makes it
And
fun.
yeah, the cast too. And yeah, we had everything from Joe Gatt, have you had him in?
We haven't yet.
Oh, you should get him in.
great.
He's amazing, a really nice guy, but looks very intimidating, to these little girls in the cast who just both of them. Well, Caitlin's not that little anymore, but they both just like really brought it.
Yeah.
And it was great to see because Doc was there a little bit, but you were the only original main cast member in there, and they all brought the Z Nation to Z Nation, so it's really really
I like
really
that.
fun.
The Z Nation to the Z Nation.
Yes.
That's very good. That's a nice little
You
tidbit.
guys both just killed it.
Yes.
Do we
you.
have time for super quick predictions? Yes, no? Oh, we got the extended predictions. All right.
Do.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
And the light show.
So good.
Oh, you know what I like. Congrats to our booth guys. Wonderful.
Oh.
Season finale. We have a preview. We see hitchhiking grandpa, who is evidently lucid enough to be able to speak, which is new for a zombie. We have something of a reunion of all of the cast. We have Zona coming back into play, where they've been kind of hands off with the exception of the man for most of the season. And the thing that stood out to me was Murphy catching a punch. Just the man going after him, and Murphy just like, no. Not something I'd expect Murphy to be able to do.
You don't know what someone's capable of until they're defending their children.
Yeah.
Good point.
Very good.
So
thank you.
I will be very surprised if everyone in the main cast survives. till the
Everyone
end.
dies.
Everyone dies.
Yes, it's
Everyone
right
dies.
There in the title.
It's called Everyone Dies in the
Literally
End.
everyone dies.
My
So we'll see.
prediction is everyone dies because that's what it says in the title.
Yeah. Me too.
Just gonna sit there watching our reactions with the popcorn, aren't you? Just like, yep.
I wish we could.
Could just like live stream us watching it. Yeah. Just the
You
tears
know,
flowing.
we could. I have a channel that does reaction videos. We could. All right, that is the wrap up. Thank you both of you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having
Thank you for
us.
having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a blast. Where can the people find out more about your upcoming projects and what you're working on?
Up on the Twitter and the gram.
Yes.
Annie Awesome.
Yeah, I'm at Jen Elder, and my website is jenderwingson.com.
All right, Michelle.
Nice. You can find me on Twitter at Michelle_Cullen.
And you can find our intrepid leader, Megan Salinas, at The Menguin, TheMenguin. And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and the aforementioned YouTube channel at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. I'm also on Snapchat at Kia Prime. Most of what I'm doing at the studio has gone on hiatus. However, we do have the mid-season finale of Star Wars Rebels tomorrow, so tune in for that. And we have Ruby every other week. This week is a Ruby week. We're looking at episodes 5 and 6, so that'll be super fun. And be sure to come back here next week for the season finale. Thank you. Thanks again for joining us, you guys. You've been great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.